We're here at the Walt Disney World Swan today, checking things out. Needed a one-night hotel stay before my trip on the Wonder of the Seas. So we're gonna check out everything here at the hotel. It's my third of the Swan and Dolphin properties that I've stayed at this year. Let's check things out.
Now, the Walt Disney World Swan and its sister property, the Walt Disney World Dolphin, opened up in 1990. They are official Walt Disney World hotels, even though they are not owned by Disney. They're operated by Marriott, so the Swan is actually a Westin property. You'll notice the Westin signature scent throughout the property, which is pretty cool. But you're going to get your full benefits when staying at the Swan, the Dolphin, or the Swan Reserve. You're going to get early entry into all four parks 30 minutes early each day as of the posting of this video, as well as extended evening hours, since this is technically a deluxe resort within Disney. So Mondays and Wednesdays right now, they're having a few extra hours in the evenings just for deluxe hotel guests. That is a major perk. Just remember to check the official Disney World website for the actual schedule, because things can definitely shift around. The Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve have their own transportation to the theme parks, so you can see the bus over there. That's going to take you over to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom. They have free boat transportation over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, as well as Epcot, that also stops at the Boardwalk and Yacht and Beach Clubs. I used mobile check-in during my stay in the official Marriott app, so I got my room, didn't have to stop by the front desk at all, headed straight up to my room after my day in the parks. No upgrade for me as a Marriott Platinum. Unfortunately, tried to use my night awards as well. They used to be called Sweet Night Awards. Forget what they're actually called now. But we did get just a base level room, which totally fit our needs for one night. So as you walk into the room, there's a small little closet area to the left as you enter the bathroom. That's going to have your safe, your iron, your robe, as well as a small section just to hang up any clothes that you might have. Small little sink and a mirror setup here before you enter a separate room that has the toilet and the shower and tub combo, and interestingly, an additional sink. So this is great for families, so you can kind of get ready into separate rooms and everyone kind of has their own privacy, which is nice. Kind of a faux waterfall shower there and the tub there. So small bathroom, but totally, fits kind of the style of the hotel, and totally usable. 2 queen beds here at the Swan. That's kind of an interesting fact, is if you're getting a 2-bed room at the Dolphin across the way, it's actually going to be 2 double beds. So if you need a larger bed, the Swan has larger beds. Little end table in between the 2 beds with plenty of plugs. Then interestingly, the coffee and waters are actually underneath that end table in between the beds. Kind of hard to find. Very comfortable beds. Westin beds are some of my favorite in the industry, so that's all great there. Pretty big television here in the room with all the connectivity that I love with Marriott properties, so streaming your own devices is no problem. Not much of a view here, unfortunately, just out the front of the hotel, but could see the Tower of Terror out there in the distance. Loved the up and down arrows near the elevators, kind of those waves kind of brought in the theme of the hotel, which was cool. So let's start our tour back out front. We're going to walk through the Port Cochere and enter the main lobby. Now, at the time of this running, there's no free parking at the Swan. It's going to be $36 to park your own car, $44 for valet. That does include theme park parking, though, which is nice. It is an official Disney hotel, so you can make use of that if you don't want to deal with the buses. One note on the buses is that they do actually stop when you're going to the Magic Kingdom at the Ticket and Transportation Center and not the front of the park, so that's going to add about 30 minutes of your time getting to the park. May want to walk over to one of the official Disney hotels like the Yacht and Beach Club or the Boardwalk, hop on one of their buses over to the Magic Kingdom. It might save you some time. Entering the main lobby, it's definitely not as grand as the Dolphin or even the Swan Reserve. It's a lot smaller, which I like. Doesn't feel as busy. It does have a convention center attached to it, but the Dolphin really more serves as the giant convention center hotel here. So a nicely appointed lobby, nice natural light coming in. Check-in desk is going to be over to the right, and over to the left is a gift shop with the opportunity to buy Disney tickets. You have some cast members there that can actually help you walk you through all the options. It does get a little confusing. If you do like this content, if it's helping you out on your next Disney vacation, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We have a lot of Disney content up and a lot more to come. And if you're trying to self-plan your trip and you're looking for some professional help, we do run a small travel agency. You'll deal with me directly. Reach out to the email in my profile, markjackson@jacksonjetsetting.com. The property was renovated in 2017, so it's been a little bit of time, but it still feels very fresh to me. I'm actually surprised that it was so long ago. It definitely felt like it was freshly redone. Inside here is Java. This is going to be the coffee shop as well as the to-go food. Got long hours throughout the day, open super early and open late as well. Things kind of switch over around lunch to where you kind of have pastries in the morning and then you have hot sandwiches and that sort of thing. You can buy beer and wine, nuts, kind of all the snacks for the parks. It's really a convenient option for you, if you don't have time for that sit down breakfast or lunch. This is where I chose to take my Marriott continental breakfast. Pretty good options there, and in that shop they also have the resort's exclusive pale ale, so don't miss that. You can also take your Marriott breakfast in the Garden Grove restaurant, but didn't really have time for that during our trip. So now walking around the main guest areas, there's 2 wings to the hotel, the west and east wings. This is where you can find your business center. You can find a place to print out your boarding passes if you still do that for the airlines. They have valets, they have rental car desks, everything you kind of need here, as well as some meeting rooms on the first and second floors. Interestingly, kind of close to the pool area. I thought that was kind of nice. This is one of my favorite spots in the whole hotel. It's these swans inside. It's a nice fountain with a cool painting on the curved roof here. So amazing, just how relaxing it can feel in the hustle and bustle of Walt Disney World. And while I do miss a Disney-themed hotel, especially being on property at Disney, it is nice just to have a relaxation as kind of the theme here at the Swan. So the west and east wings kind of splinter off from that fountain. And you just have some space to spread out. Here's the check-in desk again. Kind of wait for your family if someone's getting ready. Big groups, of course, always staying here on vacation, so you might need a place just to hang out and wait around for a little bit. It is a Westin, so you can actually rent workout clothes for a nominal fee from the front desk, and then you don't have to deal with washing them. I thought that's always like a nice benefit that I've never taken advantage of. Used to be branded Reebok. I'm not sure if it still is or not, but that's just a little Westin touch that's here on Disney property. Now let's head over and explore a little bit more of the hotel. I do love this little hallway with just some natural light leaking in. There's 2 courtyards on either side with some more swan fountains. Just a nice place to grab a cup of coffee and sit down, read a book maybe if you have a little break from the parks. But this main rotunda is going to have a number of different restaurants splintering off from it. This is not as big of a property as the Dolphin next door. The Dolphin has a lot more restaurants, but Il Molino is sort of a Italian, New York steakhouse type concept. Didn't get a chance to try it, but the bar itself looks really nice, and I'm sure it's a really nice meal. They even sell cigars over there, which I thought was interesting. Chill is going to be sort of your Fat Tuesday style bar. You can grab some frozen cocktails to go. Maybe go take them over by the pool or walk around Disney. And then down this hallway is going to be a couple of restaurant concepts. Kimonos, which is going to be the resort's Japanese restaurant. You're going to find sushi there. It gets really high ratings, like some of the best sushi in Orlando, or at least it did at one time. And then the Garden Grove Cafe. So that's going to be mainly a breakfast restaurant. It's got a giant tree in the middle of it. And probably the most quote-unquote themed restaurant on property. But I do like the open window to the bakery. Then you can see them preparing bakery items throughout the day. Quick note on the Marriott Bonvoy program. If you are a points and miles person like myself, you can use your Marriott points here to stay for nearly free. I used 36,000 Marriott points, really a 35,000 point certificate plus 1,000 points to top it off to stay for free. But then I had a $50 resort fee on top of it. Yes, there is a resort fee here. The Disney resorts don't charge a resort fee. Unfortunately, the Swan Reserve, and the Dolphin do. So just keep that in mind. It does include some things like swan boat rentals, but overall, if you're hitting the parks all day, every day, you're not going to really make much use of that. Now let's head outside and check out some of the pools here at the Swan. So the Swan, the Dolphin, the Swan Reserve each have their own pools that are located pretty close to their main buildings, and then everyone shares the Grotto pool complex. But if you are staying at the Swan, you can go use any of the pools at the Swan, Dolphin, or Swan Reserve. You cannot go use the Disney pools. Disney does not allow pool hopping, so just keep that in mind. You're kind of stuck with what you got here, but the pools are very nice. So the Swan's pool is going to be more of a relaxation pool. There's going to be a small bar with a small food menu as well, so you can grab some food and eat by the pool. It's a great pool just for reading a book, relaxing on your vacation. The resort's gym is going to be nearby as well. We'll check that out in a second. I did feel like the resort's gym needed a few more new items in it. It seemed like everything was kind of worn and a little outdated, especially compared to some of the newer gyms that I've seen on property. But it is available to you. It's free as part of your room rate, so just take advantage of that. There are some cool towels in there, so it might be a good stop after the parks. Wink, wink. A pretty small space for a hotel resort of this size, so in the mornings I imagine this gets quite busy, even though we are on a Walt Disney World vacation and you really shouldn't be in the gym. You should just be walking through the parks all day. Speaking of walking, now we're going to walk over to the Grotto pool, which is going to be the main pool that everyone shares. It's going to be the kind of activities pool. It's going to have an awesome water slide. It's going to have waterfalls, lots of loungers. It's going to have a small beach area near it, a playscape even for the kids, a place for people to rent those swan boats. So this is going to be a big focal point of the mini resort here within the Walt Disney World Resort. I think this is one of the best pools on property. It's just absolutely gigantic, plenty of room for everyone, and always a lot of fun. Now I think it's even better with the Swan Reserve across the street because you just have even more options. Swan, probably the furthest walk to this pool of the three. The Swan Reserve is going to be closest, even though you do have to cross the street there. And the Dolphin is pretty close, but depending on where your room actually is, it's a pretty long walk. So you can see the sense of scale of just how much bigger this property is, the Dolphin, versus the Swan. You can take the friendship boats over to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's a really short walk as well to Hollywood Studios, a little bit closer than Epcot. I love the location of this property for that reason.
So if you are looking to book either the Swan, the Dolphin, or the Swan Reserve, the Swan definitely has its benefits. It's the smallest of the three. It's located closest to the boat transportation and by parallel all the walkways to the theme park, so a little bit less of a walk at the end of the day. I think that's pretty important, and it's smaller, so you're not going to be walking, a mile to your room. My room was really close to the elevator, but the wings themselves are not that large at the Swan. It's a huge benefit there for sure. In terms of rooms, freshly renovated, I think, in the last couple of years. Definitely an improvement over the last time I was there. Got a lot of Westin amenities, which is really cool. I do love a good Westin, so this is one of the better ones for sure. I'll say the rooms at the Swan Reserve are just more impressive overall because they are the brand new ones. They were, built in the last 3 years from the ground up. So if you're looking for kind of the best room of the three, Swan Reserve is going to be your pick. Then if you want like more resort options, like if you want more restaurants inside your building, if you want to be close to the pool, I think all three are great. You can go in between all three. The Dolphin's going to have more of that. It's also going to have the largest convention center connected to it, so that might be a benefit to you. No matter which one you choose, though, you're all going to have the same Disney benefits. You're going to have the extended evening hours certain days of the week. You're going to have early park access in the morning. You're going to have all the transportation. So overall, I think you can't go wrong with either of these, especially if you have Marriott points, because it's just saving you a whole bunch of money. There is a $50 resort fee, however. It doesn't include very much the Swan. You get a free Swan boat ride, which I'm probably not going to use, internet and all that stuff. So really not an amazing thing. The resort fee, the Disney resorts don't have that. So that's one deterrent here.
I did want to note too that across the way near the Swan Reserve is going to be the Fantasia Gardens mini golf courses. It's really a lot of fun. It's about $20 per round. They have a more fanciful traditional mini golf course. I actually played the Fantasia Gardens course, which is basically a miniature golf course, like with sand traps and water hazards and that sort of thing. That was a real blast, so I do recommend doing that. But overall, that's all you can do here at the Swan. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more content around Disney World.